newly discovered underwater sea monsters, terrifying creatures that scientists are still documenting about to this day, and not to mention giant spiders that can take down literal birds, a snail with a shell that can grow to the size of a human fist and even further. They might seem cool, but they're actually a huge invasive species. Within the commercial crops that harbor East Africa, peanuts, cucumbers, cocoa, and peas, it's a giant snail's nirvana. But in total, they can devour over 500 different species of plant life, which include lichens, algae, and fungi. Not only does it create problems for the farmers, but because of the crazy variety that they have within their diet, you can see the issue it can bring to an ecosystem if there are too many of them around. Aside from this though, they also need calcium, and they will get this through bones, eggshells, oyster shells, and even the shells of their relatives. They won't even stop there. They'll chow down on stucco, concrete, or even paint. Not to mention, this snail species can also carry some dangerous parasites within their body, can flatten your tire because of how sharp their shells are, and Florida had to spend over $24 million to get rid of them in 2011, and then again in 2017. So if you see one, you know exactly what you need to do. A tarantula that can literally take down an entire bird to feast on, the Goliath bird eater, and given its name for the obviously scary reason. Thankfully for us Canadians, this arachnid beast is found on the floor of a rainforest in northern South America. This creature is nearly 1 foot wide and weighs 6 ounces. I hate it, making it the biggest spider on the planet in terms of weight. Its body is covered in barbed hairs for protection from other animals, which are not only meant to be intimidating, but painful as well, as it also pairs together with its gigantic fangs. To make itself even scarier to prey and predators, it will rub its hairy legs together, which is a common technique amongst other animals to create a hissing sound that could be heard up to 15 feet away. Although they can eat birds, it's surprisingly actually rare they do, since they are flyers and tarantulas have absolutely terrible eyesight. Majority of their diet is rodents, insects, and frogs, and rely on the hair of their limbs to sense the vibrations of other animal activity. I know some people like having these as pets, and I already have trouble accepting that reality. Ligers are already known to be the biggest cats on the planet, but how big are we actually talking here? Being a hybrid offspring of a male lion and a female tiger, Hercules makes that anomaly into a reality. This big boy added to the record by weighing in at 922 pounds, measuring 10.9 feet in length and 4.1 feet in terms of height. That is a big old kitty. Hercules consumes 20 to 25 pounds of meat daily and uses logs to sharpen his terrifying nails. To this day, Hercules is still alive as of 2022, coming up to over 20 years old now. That's not to say though he is the only liger who has made it to this magnificent size. In 2008, there was another liger who had grown over 1,100 pounds and stretched out to 12 feet. His name was Rocky, and he loved people. But because of his obvious size, he wasn't really allowed to cuddle with them all too much. Because they don't really serve much purpose in terms of conservation value, people have been trying their best to keep these two species at bay to avoid further ligers being created. Has anyone else's TikTok For You pages been taken over by the absolute beast that is Pesto? Despite his size, this guy is actually a baby emperor penguin. Pesto's home resides in Melbourne's Sea Life Aquarium. People online dub him as Fatty, Absolute Unit, and my all-time favorite, Linebacker. He gained immediate succession in popularity, with people visiting from all over the world to come see this chunky boy. Pesto was originally born at 200 grams, and over the 9th month growing period, he's managed to gain up to 50 pounds and became the biggest chick the aquarium has ever seen. Marine biologists say it's a combination of nature and nurture, really. Pesto's biological father is apparently quite the size as well, but has since been well taken care of by his foster parents, Tango and Hudson. They go on to say he eclipses them now, which also makes him look comically large. It doesn't help the fact that he's got quite the healthy appetite for a baby, taking in about 30 fish a day. Majority of his size is fluff though, and one of the workers there would say when she would go in for a poke, her hand would be completely enveloped by the floof. What a cutie. Japanese spider crabs, with the obvious fact that their name was given to them because of their horrifying resemblance to the arachnid family, these funky-looking 10-legged crustaceans can be found in the depths of the Pacific Ocean between 160 to 2,000 feet below, and prefer the temperature of the water to be around 50 degrees. They can grow up to about a 12.5-foot leg span and weigh around 42 pounds. However, despite their appearance, they're quite the gentle giants. They're also actually omnivores and will keep a diet of plants, algae, mollusks, shrimp, and other small fish. Scientists still don't know how fast these guys can go at top speed, but they can live up to 100 years. They also have the largest leg span out of all arthropods, growing even wider than 2 full-grown men. Spider crabs are also apparently underwater fashionistas and love to decorate themselves with sponges, plants, and anemones to help keep themselves hidden from other underwater predators. But if they do get targeted, they can easily regrow their legs back as well. In 2021, the largest bony fish, or sunfish rather, weighing in at 6,000 pounds was discovered near the Azores Island. The exact measurements after scientists got their hands on it was 6,065 pounds total, which was described to be the size of a large SUV, and beats its predecessor bony fish record holder by over 882 pounds from 1996. It also stretched across a solid 10.67 feet and 11.78 feet in height. They weren't necessarily sure what the exact age of the sunfish was, but had a rough estimate that it was roughly around 20 years old. These funky looking boys are not surprisingly awkward swimmers due to their genetic form, and can't ever really close their mouths, so they usually just keep it open as they munch on jellyfish, algae, zooplankton, and other small fish. Scientists weren't really sure how this sunfish had passed, but they assumed due to some red paint appearing on the side of its body, it must have collided with a boat at some point in its travels. Ecologist, however, states that moments like these will become much more rare in the years to come. Corey Evans had said, "It's pretty rare to find a big fish these days due to the overfishing and habitat degradation." A new giant snake species was discovered in the Amazon rainforest. Yay, my favorite! This new species of snake has also been rumored to be the biggest snake in the world. It was a team who had come from the University of Queensland that made this discovery, traveling all the way to the Ecuadorian Amazon to search for this supposed beast, while rainy people have reported. Funny enough, this was also during the time that they were filming Disney Plus's docuseries called Pole to Pole with Will Smith. Professor Brian Fry, who is a biologist from the school, said they have found several green anacondas lurking in the shallows, lying in wait for prey. Not only were green anacondas an already known discovery, this trek down in the Amazon made scientists realize that there's actually 2 genetically different species of green anacondas. They named this reptile species the northern green anaconda. One female anaconda we encountered measured an astounding 20.8 feet long. These 2 species have separate basins. While the green anaconda we know lives in the south, the new green anaconda is found in the north, hence the name. Fry would state, the 2 species differ genetically by 5.5%. It's quite significant. To put it in perspective, humans differ from chimpanzees by only 2%. Other rumored northern anaconda snakes to be seen by the locals also measured roughly about 24.6 feet long and weighed around 1,102 pounds. That is quite the snake. Giant beast. You love him or you hate him. Which one was your favorite from the list? Tell me down below and I will see you all in the next video. Stay creepy.
Hey, check out this video next. It's about interesting creatures that we found in Chernobyl. These animals should not exist here, but yet they do, and we have many documented cases with these strange hybrid creatures. Click the video now to find out more.